With the release of MaXXXine, it's time to stop and rank all three films of the X Ty West Mia Goth trilogy. My name is Max Tinberg. Welcome back to a brand new movie franchise ranking video here on Max Talks Movies. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. I talk all things movies, TV shows, box office. I also do out of theater reactions and these type of ranking videos daily. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel, comment down below what is your ranking of the X trilogy. If you want to give me reasons why you have each one above the other, let me know in the comment section. Also, if you have an opinion on my ranking, if you disagree or agree with, also let me know. I do respond to every single comment, so please comment down below. Also, please like the video, guys, the thumbs up button. That's how you support this channel. And without further ado, let's get started with my ranking. And coming in at number 3 for me is easily MaXXXine, right behind me, the newest entry, the final entry into this trilogy. And I didn't hate this movie. I don't think this is a bad movie, but MaXXXine just disappointed me, especially the last 30 minutes of the film. I'm not with this, by the way. I will be going into spoilers on Pearl and X, but I will not be going into spoilers for MaXXXine. So if you guys have not seen MaXXXine and wanted to see where it fit into this ranking, I have done a full out of theater reaction and review for it. So I'm not going to go as much in detail as the other two films, because I've not actually reviewed those here on the channel. But MaXXXine left me wanting a lot more. You still had the perfection of Mia Goth as the character of Maxine Minx, her trying to become finally an actress, making it, and her past coming back to get her. That all made sense. But to me, it was just kind of the serial killer arc, the actual villainous threat. I just didn't feel was present as a major threat for the majority of the movie compared to Pearl and X, where you felt like something was off from the beginning of the movie until through the end of the credits. And I felt like here we were in a little bit of a lull of her getting interactions with the cops. There wasn't as much killing as there was in the first two movies, but still, this movie is extremely well made, well acted. It's a really, and once again, another really strong ensemble. Esposito and Bacon in particular are standouts in supporting roles. As I said, Mia Goth is still perfect as this character, but the third act left me very disappointed. But again, I've already given my full thoughts. Don't hate this movie. I just think it's an okay movie. And in this franchise, that gets you at number 3. At number 2 for me, this is where everyone will have their debate. At number 2 for me is X. I just watched X and Pearl for the first time around 2 weeks ago, leading into the release of MaXXXine. And I will say this right away about X. I love this movie. There's not much complaining from me. This film is the perfect throwback, late 80s type film, or sorry, late 70s, early 80s type movie that still works for all generations who watches it. Just a group of people trying to make a porn film on this very odd piece of land, let's just say. And the more you uncover, it's so funny. People always have really good interactions with this movie because some people realized that Mia Goth was playing Pearl in this movie. Actually, this is before Pearl came out, but people didn't know that Mia Goth was actually the old lady as well. What a terrific performance is by Goth. I mean, just phenomenal, both as MaXXXine and Pearl. But the whole group is a lot of fun. Brittany Snow and Kid Cudi are very entertaining, very over the top porn star-like characters, and you really enjoy both of them. And also Jenna Ortega, not as big of a role as she did beyond this franchise, but she's really good in this movie as well, with her character battling, wanting to be in film, but also maybe into the porn industry. But the kills are brutal. Once Pearl goes on her tear in the movie, it is nonstop, starting with that barn scene, even with the car, with the opening guy who gets killed in the group, the alligator, the twists, the turns, the disturbing sex scene between Pearl and her husband, that I still can't get out of my mind. Pearl lying in the bed naked with a naked MaXXXine. There are so many just disturbing sequences throughout the movie that just irk you and make you feel a certain way. And definitely, yes, it's movie is once again extremely well made by director Ty West, and the actors are terrific, but it's the vibe, the aesthetic, and the script. It's a very simple movie, but it has fresh ideas, not understanding who Pearl is, why she's on this revenge path, it seems, of killing these people. Why is she so fixated on MaXXXine? And their dynamic is really strong. And of course, you get a very satisfying ending of MaXXXine running over Pearl towards the end of the movie. Because I think this movie could have gone a billion other ways if they made it somehow supernatural or fantasy with the character of Pearl. But she is just a very old lady doing things. Due to her not making it in stardom. And that's why I think the trilogy works, because you have the lead character of MaXXXine and Pearl, who want the exact same thing in life. Pearl wanted to be a movie star, as did MaXXXine, but one got to achieve that dream through very much different reasons, while Pearl did not, and that set them on their two very different paths. So X, I love this movie. There's some really good scares in this film, but for me, coming in at number one is Pearl, which is one of my favorite horror movies, as you want to say, in the last 10 years. This is one of the most messed up, dark films where it is basically a villain origin story. You don't really see that anymore in Hollywood, especially in the horror genre, because you need someone to latch onto and to root for. Because we established Pearl and we established Mia Goth as his leading actress in X, Pearl picks right up from that point with a prequel done really well, where yes, you definitely feel bad for Pearl throughout the movie, where she's living a very hard life. Her mother is awful to her. She has a sick father, and she wants to explore life and want to make it somewhere. She gets that itch with meeting with the projectionist, who's played by the new Superman, David Cornsweet. And that dynamic is really strong, where she's finally she wants to see herself in Hollywood, that type of situation. And the projectionist sees her in that way, which gets her interested. She has a husband who's also off the military. She's very much alone and can't really achieve her dreams. And then that's when her sister-in-law comes in and says these people are going to hire people to go on the road and do all these things. And Pearl was obviously interested in that. And that is when the movie goes absolutely off the rails. It's even started off the rails early in the movie with that scarecrow scene, which is also just a weird scene that can only be pulled off by a terrific performance. And this is easily, for me, Goth's best performance in the franchise, because yes, she allows you to feel bad for Pearl and the ups and downs of her life, but you're never not disturbed by the character decisions that Pearl makes. That's both on a writing credit, but also the facial reactions by Goth. And what this movie did a really good job, as well as the other two movies, is one take. This movie has a couple really strong one takes. The scarecrow scene is the one take, but also after killing the projectionist, Pearl has this one-on-one scene with Mitzi, played by Emma Jenkins Purro, where basically, Mitzi wants to make sure Pearl's okay and to talk to her like she's her husband. And Pearl goes along with this, and it's like a 5 to 7 minute one take where Mia Goth, we're on camera. It's a one shot. We're really getting one camera angle. Nothing moves for 5 minutes, and Goth unleashes an unbelievable performance. And your jaw's on the floor that the scene continues to go on. Goth is phenomenal in the scene. And then the moment Mitzi realizes what happened, because Pearl's admitting to committing murder and the fact that she's enjoying committing murder. She killed her mom earlier in the movie. Her dad she kills as well. She goes on a rampage. The last 40 minutes of the movie is just a Pearl rampage, where she basically kills all of the other characters in the film. But after Mitzi's trying to leave, she's like, I'm just gonna head out of here. Pearl then goes for that last kill, and you get the most one of the most iconic horror elements ever in a horror movie, in my opinion, with the closing credits, which is Mia Goth, another one take, smiling, crying at the same time. This movie always works. It has the most iconic moments, in my opinion. I'm someone who likes very dark, both comedy, but just dark things in film. And this is a very bleak movie, which leads a little bit of hopefulness for MaXXXine when you watch this alongside X. I think this is a good watch before you see X, or I think it's a stronger watch when you see it after X. But this is, for me, easily Mia Goth's strongest performance. And this, to me, has made her one of the most iconic horror leading actors of all time. She's so phenomenal in this movie, as she is in both MaXXXine and X. But here it feels different. The one takes, the fact that she co-wrote the script as well. This feels like a Mia Goth movie in a T. And I loved Pearl a little bit more than X. But for me, I would rewatch Pearl the most out of all the films. And that's why Pearl comes in at #1. What is your ranking of the X trilogy? Let me know in the comment section down below. And I'll talk to you guys soon.